Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be across this beautiful blue-green globe of ours. Welcome to Real News Live. It's a Monday morning news and Jentel show. I'm your host, Mike Barrett, in Las Vegas, Nevada. Joined as I always am on Mondays and Wednesdays by my co-host, the lovely lady with the lustrous hair from Hayden, Idaho, Jennifer Fallawsophy. Jen, how are you doing on this marvelous Monday?
Doing good.
Doing good.
Sounds a little bit shaky, like you're.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Hang on. Let me check and see if I've got. I had a microphone issue earlier, so let me check and see.
It's a little harsh.
Let me get the link up over in the Telegram room, and then check my audio. Yeti microphone. Okay. Looks like I'm good. Maybe I fooled around with the gain.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Is this better? Is this better or worse? Is this still bad?
I think that's better.
That's better? Is it better now? Better? Okay.
Up a little more. I was a little quiet.
Now it's a little quiet.
Just a little. It was just a little bit.
A little too intense for you? Because I was screaming into the microphone? There we go. All right. Okay, guys, welcome to the show. It is a new, fresh Monday morning. We have some news. We have some Jentel. We have some things to talk about. We will have time for your readings today. We have Jen until about 11:15 when she has to go off and do her real job, her day job of healing people and helping people around the world. So we aren't going to keep her too long from that. Meantime, why don't we just kind of go through and while we're waiting for everybody to get notified and get caught up, why don't we just go around the horn and talk about everything that we normally talk about here on this show. And I will move Jen so that the block is in front of my face, not your face. The CBD Gurus logo. We got to leave that up for a little while. They're great. They're good guys. Matt's a good guy. Just to let you know, if in fact you do not miss a show, you can always go to mikebarrett.blogspot.com and pick it up, where you can get all of our current shows. Oh, Jen, there we are. Jen as action figures. You and me as action figures.
Why are you doing the doll? My God.
I know you don't like it, but
with Dave about
it makes all of the action figures look pudgy. It just does. That's the way the AI works. It's not personal. Don't take it personal. Anyway, you got things there like this Disclosure Experience 2025 preview video that I did with Laura Eisenhower and Doc Skinner. A previous shows, interviews I've done with like on the Calvine videos on the Calvine UFO photo. Interviews with people in the UFO community, the forecast. I'm going to be on that today. Mel Carmine's not going to be with us, but I'm going to be doing a show with Laura and Elisa and another guy, Frank somebody. So we'll be doing those shows, all collected at mikebarrett.blogspot.com. And also, please don't forget to visit our wonderful sponsors, the CBD Gurus, over at thecbdgurus.com, where you can get all kinds of CBD-based products for your health. Slide under the wholesale tab, slide down to Mike B Wholesale, type in the discount code ALIEN, no capital A, no S on the end, just alien, and pick up this week's specials. They have all kinds of cool stuff, including Matt is going to throw in this week. It's 5,000 dinar for orders over 75, 10,000 dinar for orders over $125. While we wait, we've got specials this week on the sleep gummies. Those are wonderful. The Lion's Mane, the Miracle Gold, the Lotion 2000 skin lotion, which, given that, again, I had another thing removed off my body on Friday, I got to take better care of my skin in this intense Las Vegas heat. But all kinds of cool products to relax you, help you feel better, to improve your health, to boost your immune system. They got the CBD pet oils, all kinds of cool stuff from the CBD Gurus. Matt and Lucas are wonderful guys. Also, please don't forget to visit MikeBarrettPets.com, where you can pick up all kinds of mushroom-based supplements for your dogs, your cats, your horses, your donkeys. I assume your donkeys, like Henry the Donkey, who's very popular in our Telegram room over there at MikeBarrettPets.com. These are all based on the Coriolis versicolor and reishi mushrooms, as well as other holistic products, shed antler powder, natural whole foods. They've got all kinds of cool stuff. Click on the Shop Now button. Slide on in there. I've got Barkley on the Mojos and the Mush Puppies. He's doing great. They've got the special sauce for dogs and cats, the Pet Balm for hot spots. Chill Doggies is a wonderful new product to calm your dog down if he's got separation anxiety. mush ponies for the horses, and then the Enforce line of products for human beings that have helped cure a lot of illnesses. Kristen and Diana, the mushroom ladies themselves, are both experiencers. They both used these mushroom-based supplements and their health massively improved. And yes, the C word, cured really serious illnesses that they both have. So they will testify to it. That's why they wanted to start this company up. They got all kinds of cool stuff. They got coffee, they got chocolates, they got starter packs, everything you could imagine over at MikeBarraPets.com. If you have an issue or a question with your pet, you can either sign up and ask Jen, and or you can go to Diana and send her an email at MikeBarraPets@gmail.com, and she will tell you what is probably the best thing to get your doggy, your kitty, your horsey, or your other furry loved one on something to help them out. Also, please do not forget to hit lifewave.com/MikeBarra, link in the description, where you can pick up the LifeWave patches, which do all kinds of cool stuff to help people out. I've got some friends, 3 friends now, who said to me, man, I've been putting these patch things on me, and I've got amazing results. The X39 patch is the be-all, end-all, go-to. It supposedly stimulates apparently stem cell production. They're amazing products. You place them on your body. You wear them 12 hours a day. You take them off for 12 hours a day. I have 3 friends now who absolutely swear by the results.
Okay.
They find these things absolutely amazing. I'll probably have Michael Jaco back on in the next couple weeks to talk about the benefits of the LifeWave patches. Again, link in the description. You can also become a reseller if you want. Right now, I'm running 3 of the patches, the X39, the X49, and the SP6 to help my immune system and my hormone balance and all that kind of stuff. So definitely hit that.
Just move the mic back and hit the gain again. Everybody's commenting that it just feels like you're screaming at them. Just move it back.
Okay, move it back. How about there? Is that any better? I am kind of talking loud. Yeah. Sometimes I talk loud and you can't hear me. So anyway, also please get on over to the Disclosure Experience 2025 website, link in the description. Some great weekends coming up on May 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and also June 4th through the 6th in Sholo, Arizona. I'm going to be doing these really, really cool events. You got 4 speakers lined up for the entire weekend. You get to spend the entire weekend there. Everything is covered, including your food, your alcohol, your dance parties. First weekend, May 2nd, 3rd, 4th, I'm there with Laura Eisenhower, John D'Souza, and Tom Reed. And then in June, on June 6th, 7th, and 8th, I'm there with Brooks Agnew, JJ Ainsworth, and Marina Sarin. All you got to do is get yourself to Sholo, Arizona, and it will be a great weekend to pick people's brains. Long-form discussions, long-form presentations, and you get to hang around with your favorite speakers in the spiritual growth UFO community. That's 1028productions.com/DE25. Jen, after all that, why don't you tell us what is going on over at JenniferFallah.com?
Well, if you'd like to get a reading with me, if you'd like to get a healing, if you'd like to reach Susan Gretz or Marcy Howell for their services, you can go to JenniferFallah.com. There's a donation button at the top to combine services. There are interdimensional meditations and psychic development classes available. Everybody must email me after purchase, and we will schedule privately and through the email. And that is it. Somebody was asking me about a medical reading. This is where you get it. It's right there.
Yeah, that one.
That's all that's going on over there. Get on over there and get your services.
Okay.
Also, we still, I got to do the giveaway.
Patchwork Pup.
We're going to have a shirt giveaway. You can go to patchworkpup.com and order your shirts now. I survived on Jentel, on God and Jentel for 2020 to 2025, and I exist in the name of the God slogan. So you can go and get those t-shirts, sweatshirts, embroidered screen print. Click on the shirt. You can change it. The price will change from embroidered to screen print, and you can order those, and we're probably you're going to want to get those now while we're still offering them.
Okay. That is what is going on over at jenniferfallah.com this week. Okay, so we have, what do we have? We have about, I can never find the number on Rumble. How many people do we have over on the Rumble? Oh, we have 367 thumbs up. Yes, please hit the thumbs up button. Okay, it's not telling me for some reason how many people are over on Rumble, but we have a few people in the live stream now. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you each and every one of you. Don't forget over on the Rumble side that you can hit the subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner of the chat. And why do I not see?
That is the wrong show.
The chat. That's like a different show. Yeah. There we go. That's probably
it's showing that take the frickin' doll down. I'm not very happy with that.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Yeah, it is.
Men just don't get it.
It is the wrong show. Did I link to the wrong show? Are we not on Rumble? Are we not on Rumble? What is going on here? No, there it is. There we are. Okay. In the lower right-hand corner, you have a little red subscribe button for a mere $5 a month. You can follow the show and contribute $5 a month and get your questions answered first, along with anybody who Rumble rants. Looks like we don't have any Rumble rants yet this morning. Okay, so let's shift on over to the news and just talk about what is or is not going on in the news. Okay, so I was asked to keep quiet about some things last week. I see no reason to keep quiet about them anymore. The reality is that we have talked about, I talked weeks ago about how there was a forcing mechanism built into the agreements with Iraq on when they would revalue their currency, that certain three-letter agencies had the ability to force a revaluation of their currency if they failed to do so. They continually have failed to do so. They were scheduled to have revalued on Thursday. They did not. They were given 24 hours. They failed again on Friday to revalue their currency. They are just being obstinate. They are playing shenanigans. So I was told the issue was forced. That generates a 72-hour window, which ended approximately 82 minutes ago, and there is no revaluation. So once again, all I have is that they are refusing to cooperate, that nobody apparently is forcing their hand, and we sit here with kind of nothing. There is rumors of bond people being paid, but for the first time, my two bond guys that I'm following are in disagreement. One says he still expects something to happen this week, and another guy like tomorrow, and another guy says he doesn't expect to receive his funds until the end of the month. You have people saying stuff like, oh, they'll do it on Easter because of the Saint Germain Fund. I would like to remind you they have blown through every single so-called deadline for Easter and all these spiritual opportunities and Ramadan. They've blown through every single one for the last 10 years. So, and there have been dozens every year. So we're in a situation where it should have happened a long time ago. It should have happened months ago. It hasn't happened, and nobody appears to be willing to force it, is where I sit with the information that I have. And that's kind of where we're at, and at least from my perspective. So I don't know why these people are not interested in finishing this off. The people who are in charge, whoever they are, it may be Donald Trump, it may not be. But, we had the perfect storm last week under which to slip in an RV, and they didn't do it. So here we sit, brokenhearted. That's all I got. And I hate to be pessimistic, but I can't tell you anything other than what I know, which is right now there's not like there's even anybody saying, oh, well, they missed the deadline today, but they're going to do it tomorrow. I got nothing coming in like that. So not to put all the weight on you, Jen, but I mean, do you have, I guess we'll find out what you got in meditation and where we're at. Cause I honestly don't know where we're at. It's not like I'm saying we're not going anywhere. I'm just saying, I don't know where we're at because every deadline that I was told about has passed. So, maybe you can give us some clarification on where we are at. Let's wait and see. Your caption and go, baby.
All right. Hi. This is Jentel. Now, I didn't get a whole lot because we're at a place where there isn't a whole lot. And there's a lot that we don't know about. This is Jentel Interdimensional Meditation for 1425. Jesus and the whole team. The dress was navy blue. RV News. I asked, when will we get notifications? Jesus walked up and took my hand, and we faced the team of archangels, and Gabriel spoke, and he said, tomorrow. Best case scenario is tomorrow. It's probably going to be Wednesday. Zurich is at a standstill. Technical problems, rerouting the transfers, bottleneck. Tomorrow night is the current goal for notifications. That is the current goal. Coming in the news. Now, I didn't have a lot of time, but I didn't see a whole lot coming in the news. But I did see the side of this silver, and I think it's red, blue, what looked like a train. Okay, it looked like a passenger train. It could have been a bus, but it stopped, and there's a problem. It possibly hijacked. I see that coming in the news. There will be talk about a new plan or dream for the USA that is revealed or mentioned this week. I see flights in the air, and I heard something about flight grounded. They may be looking for someone. I don't know, but there's something going on with flights still. And people really need to start questioning why we're having so many, flight problems. I mean, there's just too many to ignore. What the hell's going on? Okay, so, and then I see another Rose Garden speech coming. Something's going on in the Rose Garden within the next week. And that's it. So basically, it's more technical problems. It's more bottleneck. It's more trying to get really said Zurich. So maybe that's holding it up. Maybe they've got too much going on over there that they haven't finished. I don't know. But I think right now where we're at is I still see a screen, like a back screen with rates on it. They're moving. They're changing. And that will go on the Forex. And that's where we're at. I feel like we're just waiting to do that. I feel like I'm back here at Zurich, and there's some kind of problem over there where they thought everything was, going smoothly and it's going to get finished up. So it's got to be bond people over there. I'm not sure. I just know that there's nowhere else to go but up. And so we wait. Now we've got another Wednesday coming. Somebody's been talking in chat about another 5.1 earthquake in San Diego County Estates. If it's country estates, that's Ramona. Let's see. We did hear it would be Wednesday after an earthquake. So I don't know. All I know is that it's coming. All I know is there's nowhere else to go but up. There's nowhere else to go but next. And I feel like people are trying really hard worldwide to get this thing done. And that's Jentel for today.
Yeah, I mean, that explains it, because on the news side, if it's just technical problems, then nobody would really know
Nobody's gonna know about
what
it.
happened. Yeah, nobody knows what happened. Like, why didn't it go through when it was supposed to go through? And if it's just technical issues, then it's technical issues. So, but like on the news side, nobody knows that there was a technical issue, and I think people are probably a little cynical about that.
Well, that's probably the only way they could try to stop it right now is some kind of hacker somewhere. Think about all the hackers they have worldwide.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't look at any messages this morning. I didn't look at any other because I wanted to go and get a fresh read. So
right. Well, and so again, tomorrow into Wednesday for notifications sounds fine to me. And once again, thank you for lifting us all up by telling us what you get, and it fits. Because I'm sorry,
nothing.
you were mumbling to somebody.
I'm watching the chat, and they're talking about the earthquake. I used to work in Ramona. So my parents had a store there, and it's a small town, but I guess it was back in Julian. Julian's kind of far away. It's the center of the earthquake, that's kind of odd. It's an odd place to have it.
Yeah, but it is California, so
yeah, but it's
going to be earthquakes.
Not usually where we have
earthquakes. One of the things about living in Vegas is interesting. Is it's hellishly hot, and I can't wait for the RV to happen so I can go get my summer beach house somewhere and be cooler this summer for 3 months. But one thing we don't have to worry about, there's never any earthquakes here. There's no tornadoes. There's no hurricanes. There's no floods. It's like the only thing that could ever happen to Vegas is if the Yellowstone caldera went off and we got buried like Pompeii under the ash. That's it, really. So, it's kind of nice living somewhere we don't have to worry about. Even in Seattle, I went through a devastating earthquake when I was 4 years old in Seattle. I mean, it was one of those. It's something so scary that I clearly remember it, even at that age. So it's kind of nice to live somewhere where nothing happens except it's deadly hot.
I grew up in San Diego, and we just got used to it.
Yeah.
It's like, and the craziest thing is, I would always just it's always when you're sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
I would always just sit up in bed
you're in bed and the bed goes like that all of a sudden.
I just sit up like a minute before, just like
what?
Something's coming, and then it would start rumbling, and we just go under the kitchen table. We'd get in the doorway, or I just run outside.
And how they always say. Your cats and dogs sense it coming. It's like, no, they don't. My cat's just laying there going, hey, what was that? Well, hey, Mike, what the hell was that, Dad? It was an earthquake, Indy. Go back to sleep. So
I have seen animals outside lay down when we had earthquakes when I was a kid.
Really?
Lay down.
Okay. That's interesting. Interesting stuff. All right. Let's go through and get ready and just go ahead and do our questions, I guess, because the crosstalk isn't much other than we're still good for a couple days and there's technical delays. Now we know because nobody on my side, the news side or information side, knew
really
why
got like a sense of it said bottleneck. So I think it says rerouting the transfer. So there was some kind of problem. There was some kind of holdup, and I think this has to do with like the remaining bond people and big transactions or something. Maybe somebody was trying to steal them.
Yeah.
Well, tomorrow night is the current goal for either. I have a feeling it's probably going to be Wednesday, but
well, if they got it through tomorrow night, we'd probably wake up to it on Wednesday morning.
Well, I said that tomorrow night is the current goal for notifications.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, they could send them out right before, knowing that the rates are coming or will show up. Because I think what they do is that, you've got there's levels to these Forex screens. Okay, so you've got the public screen, and then you've got one just behind it, and that's where it's showing up. And so then they do something for it to show up on the front screen, and that can take up to like 24 hours or so. There's a delay to it.
Yeah.
Almost like downloading a big file. But something's going on over in that area of the world as far as rerouting transfers, bottleneck. So it doesn't mean it's not real and it's not happening. It just means it's still coming.
Yeah. It's Also, we hear these things. Oh, tier 3 needs to be 30% liquid before we can go. Tier 3 was 80% liquid like 4 weeks ago, and they're just holding the rest of it. I do know there are 3 people, prominent whales, that are sitting in Zurich waiting for their funds to be released right now. They were there, they left, they went to Reno, they were told no, go to Zurich. They went to Zurich. They're just sitting there waiting.
Okay, because we got Zurich rerouting transactions bottleneck. I didn't know they were sitting there.
Oh,
so here we go.
Oh, okay. Well, there's that connection. Yeah, I didn't make that connection either. I was just sort of telling that story. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Okay, so something was rerouted from Reno to Zurich for the tier 3
I don't
people.
know if it was from Reno to Zurich, but it's rerouting the transfers.
Yeah,
is what he said.
Yeah.
Bottleneck tomorrow night is current goal for notifications. Zurich is at a standstill, and that confirms what you got.
That's exactly right. That's exactly what my source told me.
Okay, well, we got something.
So I guess it's a temporary delay. Let's keep our hopes up and not get negative and pessimistic and just say, okay, it didn't happen today like some of us were told it was, but looks like we're still in the game for tomorrow or the next day. Mm-hmm. So that's good news. It's good news. All right. Why don't we switch over to questions? And remember, your questions for Jen must include your real name and the name of the person or pet you may be asking about. We will try to emphasize the Rumble rants first and those who are subscribers over on Rumble, because we appreciate you guys giving us a little scratch while we wait for the RV to happen, where we will all be rich and have a really big party here in Vegas, where Jen will get really drunk and play the piano for you.
The last thing I'm going to do is get drunk in front of everybody in Vegas, okay?
No. Sure, Jen. No. Sure, Jen.
Yeah.
Jen thinks she's going to come and hang with me in Vegas and not get drunk. Okay, let's mark that down. Failed Jentel prediction.
My candy can influence me to do something I don't want to do.
I'm going to make
That's
you.
the funniest part.
Oh, Jen, you want this puzzle? You want this Appletini, Jen? All right. Sandy Goodwill, $50 Rumble rant, right? 50 for Sandy? Yeah, thank you, Sandy. That is extremely generous. $50. Hi, Mike and Jen. This is Sandy. Will my daughter Amber and her family eventually follow my husband and I to live in Tennessee?
Yeah, but it's going to take like 4 years to do that.
Okay. And we got to slide over to the Rumble side. $20 Rumble rant from Carl Spivey Jr.
Thank you.
Grand Rising, everyone. Jen, what will be the silver to gold ratio by the end of 2026? Thank you for all you do. So I guess he wants you to look at the price of silver and gold and what their ratio is.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to answer that. The end of 2026.
Yeah, like will gold be twice as expensive as silver, or 1.15, or will they be even?
2 to 1.
2 to 1? Okay, so think about this, folks. If it was 2 to 1, right now gold is $3,000. Silver is about $30. So if it was 2 to 1, then silver that you have you're buying right now for about $30 is going to be worth $1,500. It's a good investment right there.
They're both like 4 digits. They're both in the thousands.
Yeah. So that's good. So I guess the message is buy silver for me. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy silver. So, all right. Thank you for that Rumble rant. Carrie K, $10 Rumble rant. Will you tell me what is wrong with my daughter Cassidy with a K? As she is so exhausted 24/7, she's unable to keep her eyes open even after she sleeps. Thank you. So Carrie K's daughter, Cassidy with a K, is having trouble staying awake.
Well, she's fighting something off for quite a while now, so she needs an immune boost. But I do think that her iron levels are low.
Okay. What do you do about low iron levels? Do you just take supplements?
Well, these kids, they don't eat the right foods, Yeah. Like mine, Katie, she's got the iron problem because she refuses to eat red meat.
Yeah, you have that problem if you're a vegan or a vegetarian, right? So you can have an iron deficiency.
Kid's still on the brat diet. I mean, it's like, okay, so we have to get just get a multiple. You
Yeah.
gotta go to the doctor and find out how low it is, and they'll give you an iron supplement.
Yeah. That tends to affect women more than men too. You guys are more sensitive to the iron supplement thing, so that would probably be a good deal. And talk to Diana at MikeBearPets.com. Look at the human supplements there for immune system boosting, and also the CBD gurus have a good immune system boosting oil. To talk to them.
It just depends on what age she is. I don't know if she's a kid or.
Yeah. Lisa J, $5 Rumble Rant. Thank you, Lisa. Taking a car trip to Florida to babysit my granddaughter Wednesday through Sunday. Do you see the trip going smoothly or anything exciting happening while I'm there? Lisa J. Trip to Florida.
That's a good trip.
It's a good trip. Good.
Yeah, I see it's safe. I'm trying to figure out what you're seeing out the car window when you're traveling. Something that made you like, oh, look at that. So it's a good trip.
A UFO, flying saucer.
No,
Make sure you have.
It was something.
Make sure you have your camera ready. Make sure your camera's ready if you're going to see something outside. All right, $2 Rumble Rant from Marcia. I want to know if I will get the home at 6 Edgewater Court after the RV. I asked last week, but you gave 2 answers, yes and then a no. I really want that house. So Marcia, with an SHA, wants to know if she will get the home at 6 Edgewater Court eventually.
No.
Okay. Frederica, $5 Rumble Rant. Thank you, Frederica. Jen, will the social workers close the case on Navia this month before we go to Atlanta? They said they're very happy with everything. The first social worker was taken off.
I see 424.
Okay. Janelle, $10 Rumble Rant. Thank you, Janelle. Do you see my parents and my husband and I's exchange appointments going well? Is the Warka Bank Iraqi stock investment info from many years ago valid? So you have 2 questions. So, okay.
Not really.
The
exchanges go but like on the question, I'm getting a not really.
The Warka Bank investment is bad idea. Okay. Robert says, when do you see me getting in a med bed? Robert wants to know. $10 Rumble Rant. Thank you, Robert. When do you see him getting in a med bed?
It's in between the 6th and 7th month, so June, July.
June, July. Awesome. Carol, $10 Rumble Rant, says, hello, Mike and Jen. Jen, I would like to know if my trip to the Redemption Center will get me enough funds to get my dream project done. Carol wants to do a humanitarian project.
More than enough.
More than enough. There's more than enough to go around for all the projects that people have to help the human race. All right. Leah, a $25 Rumble Rant. Thank you, Leah. That's really sweet. I lost my pup chihuahua. Oh God, I lost my pup chihuahua Ellie today.
Sorry.
And
I'm heartbroken. They died.
Well, she passed. I'm heartbroken that I was not here for her when she passed. My heart hurts. Does she have any messages for me? There's these 2 chihuahuas. When we walk Barkley at night, we go past this older lady's house, and she has Bugsy, the chihuahua, and sometimes she babysits Kalinda, and these little itty bitty fierce dogs that just bark at Barkley.
Somebody came and picked her soul up and took her home. It looks like male arms reaching down and picking her soul up and carrying her home.
I'm so sorry. Just chihuahuas are so adorable. I just love them. I think when I get another pet, when I move out on my own, I'm going to get a chai. Kelly, $10 Rumble Rant. Thank you, Kelly. Do you see me being able to retire in early June?
Yes.
Excellent. And Super Dave, a.k.a. Pork Chop, with a $100 Rumble Rant. Dave, you are too good to us. By the way, Super Dave is the author of those action figures, Jen.
I know. We've discussed that. If you
you're on Jen's shit list now, Dave. Jen, will I get my taxes done today? Jay, if I didn't know better, I'd say you just wanted to give us $100. You don't really.
I know I have to get my taxes done today too. I'm a little stressed out about it. Yes.
Yeah, you'll
Quit
get
messing around, making figures and stuff.
I probably should
Cookies.
just go get my taxes done today. And
I do mine.
I'm pretty sure I'll have a refund this year, but the government will just suck it up. So, hi, Mike and Jen. This is Dorothy. Will my mare Harley have a filly or a colt? Wow,
Colt.
A colt, a little boy. Awesome. Robin.
Just like grain of salt with that. Sometimes I get it wrong.
Yeah, but you can colt pretty solid.
Girl. So if I tell you it's going to be a boy, it's probably a girl. I don't know what that's about.
Robin wants to know when she's going to meet her next boyfriend.
Huh.
And Brian wants to know when he's going to meet his next girlfriend. So why don't we get Brian and Robin together, and then they can mutually solve their problem? How about that?
There you go.
So, sorry, go ahead and tell Robin.
So Robin was 2 months. Brian is 3.
3. Okay. So, Lori Yoder. Hi, Lori. My kids, Grace and Evan, are both having their own life issues. Will my anxiety about this be resolved soon? Well, I'll tell you what, CBD gurus have a lot of good stuff to help you with anxiety. They'll calm you down.
It's going to get resolved. They're going to resolve their own problems. I mean, your part in it is kind of a choice, but I get the whole mom thing. So, no, you're not going to start worrying soon, but we don't have to make it so severe. It's not going to be the end of the world. They're going to fix this stuff. These are their life lessons, and they're going to have to walk through their trials and make decisions. You're there to pick them up if they fall.
Yeah. And the thing is, your kids are human beings. They make their own choices. You can't control that. It's up to them.
Well, you're not a mom, so we like.
Well, I was a stepfather, and
to worry.
And I remember when the stepson left the house, and I talked to a friend of mine, and she said, your kids, they leave the house, and you think they're gonna die, and they just don't. So she said, don't worry about it. They just don't die. Who all caught Mike on Nerdrotic Live yesterday? Yes, great work by Mike. Thank you. He takes over any show he's on. Well, I didn't mean to take over, but yeah, it was a great show with Gary Nerdrotic. Gary's in town. I'm going to be hanging out with him maybe Wednesday, Thursday. Maybe we'll have dinner tonight. He's a great guy. He's so brilliant. Watch his channel, Nerdrotic, on YouTube. And then Nerdrotic Live is for UFOs, aliens, and all the other things Gary's into. But mostly his channel, reviews TV and movies, sci-fi, comic book films. He's really done a fabulous job fighting the culture wars and fighting against wokeism in Hollywood. And he is a leader in that category, and a brilliant, smart guy, and really just a great guy to know. And I was shocked when I found out he was a fan, and he used to come to my lectures at Contact in the Desert and stuff. That's like really cool. So anytime I can be on with Gary, I'm really happy. So thanks for noticing that. Love you to Mike and Jen. This is Susan. Jen, could you please tell me the first name or first initial of the man who becomes my life partner? And that's cheating, Susan. Don't you think that's cheating? If you say L.
Well, I usually don't do that, but I'm getting a W.
A W. Walter? William?
Nobody wants to date a Walter. Really?
William?
It's probably William.
Walla Walla? Okay. Gina Skinner says, hey, Jen, wondering if that bay mare I sold, if that bay mare sold that I was looking at, as I cannot find the sale post anymore.
No.
Didn't sell. All right. Laura, please tell me when I can expect to get into a med bed. Thank you.
May, June. End of May. Beginning of June.
Rex would like to know if there's a spiritual reason he has so many problems getting to work. He wants to go to work, but he seems like he can't make it. Is he being protected or something? Like something just keeps coming up, keep him from going to work. Maybe somebody's going to go postal there one of these days. I don't know.
No.
Okay.
You need to organize your time.
Better.
You need to get more sleep. You need to plan ahead. You need to get out of there earlier. That's what I'm getting.
Sleep is overrated. All right. Montana Treasures. Betty says, will my daughter Mary and her family have safe travels to Alabama this week? And will my son Ramsey have safe travels to Washington this week?
All right. We got Mary and family going to Alabama and Ramsey going to Washington. So Mary and family.
Washington.
I see them landing or getting there. I see everybody getting home and they're tired. Okay, so Ramsey. Yep, he gets there. Yeah, everybody be fine.
All right. Terry says, Jen, can you tell me if my late husband, Arlie, is waiting to join us in the Ascension, or has he moved on to a different life? I don't think there's going to be an Ascension.
Okay. Ascension is done collectively, but on an individual basis. That's going to take a long time to achieve that kind of level here in this dimension, but it's begun. Yeah. So I don't look at it the way everybody else does. Somebody who's already passed away is already in a high vibrational place. It's not that the two dimensions are going to merge. It's that the collective vibrational level of this one is going to rise to a place where it feels more like heaven on earth. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't.
Will it be easier for us to communicate with people at the higher levels when we're at a higher level? Will that make the veil a little thinner?
Yes.
So that's one of the symptoms.
Think it makes the veil thinner. It just makes you more receptive,
to it. Okay. Yeah. I remember when David Wilcock was telling people that there was going to be an Ascension in 2012 and everybody else was going to die. And I'm like, yeah, thanks, Dave.
Yeah, that's not how God does things.
That's a bunch of bullshit. Yeah. Ethan Jordan, Jen, can I get a reading? I have a degenerative muscle disease. Will I get a med bed appointment in May? I'm sorry to hear that, Ethan. I know somebody else who does too.
Yeah, June.
May or June. Good timing, Ethan. So
May 29th or 8th or something like that.
Wow. Soon. Paul wants to know about the solar flash playing out, what the experience might be. I don't know if there's going to be one, but do you see a solar flash coming in our future? A lot of people talk about this. I don't think it's going to happen that way. So, but we still should bury all of our power lines so that they're, protected from that. Best Charisma. Okay, we don't have your name here. I sent 2 Rumble Rants yesterday that got missed. I sent you a question in email and also posted in Telegram.
Ask it now.
Yeah, go back and ask it again and I'll try to find you. But let's make sure you include your name because it's really hard to connect. Michelle E. says, my cat sits on a filing cabinet in the corner of my bedroom and cries at the corner ceiling.
There's something in the wall.
Something in the wall.
There's something in between, and I don't know if that is the roof line or the attic, but there is something small moving. You might want to check for mice in the attic.
Okay, we always think, oh, look, he's communicating with Dad in heaven. No, it's just a mouse.
There's something small moving in the wall.
That's making him crazy. Okay. Carissa says, Jen, can you see what's going on with Addie? She feels off. Is it hormones? I don't know. Is Addie your son, your daughter?
She's getting sick.
He's getting sick.
Start your kid getting sick protocol. I don't know, vitamin C, whatever. Carissa, it's like super mom over there. She'll figure it out.
All right. Letitia says, knowing that the timelines are always changing, do you still see me retiring before this June? I believe the answer to that would be yes, especially if we get our when we get our notifications tomorrow. But Jen, I'll let you tell Letitia when she's retiring.
Yeah. I see somebody handing you papers and shaking your hand.
Sounds good to me. Kana J says, "Hey everyone, thank you, Mike and Jen, for everything you do for this community. You're welcome. All we do is show up and tell you what we think we know. So it's
More than
like,
that, but yeah.
well, some of us do more than that. That's what I do, you know." Rosie says, "My 18-year-old granddaughter Hannah lived with me for 2 months. Then she went back to Oklahoma. She's a firecracker ready to go off. Is she going to be okay?" So Rosie is worried about her granddaughter Hannah.
I don't want to say she's bipolar, but she's just one of the fit throwers, right? She's kind of like my Katie. You know, she's very emotional. She might be an empath and not be able to understand why she feels everything so deeply, but there is an anger there. So she's just gonna have to mature. I mean, she'll be all right.
Yeah. Some of that stuff like leftover frustrations from previous lives that you bring into this one. Is that how you can have a temperament
I
like
really
that?
can't judge every case of that. Everybody's different, but like Kate, especially with the life plan, but like Katie, I think I did a meditation. I love to try and find out why. I mean, this kid was born having an anxiety attack, and what I got from Katie is that she only comes in here for a very good reason, and she has not incarnated that many times. I mean, this might be her third, when everybody else has hundreds, or you know.
Yeah, to fall back on. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm like, there's
Okay.
something great coming out of that one.
Okay, so I want to go back and double check. Well, this is Elaine. Jen, be brutally honest. Will I be really good at the healing work I'm studying, or would I be really good at doing your classes?
I think I'm not sure that I'm trying to sell you anything, but I think doing the classes is really gonna like crack open a block that you have. Because what we do is we peel back the layers of perception and understand why it is that we can do this work, why it's okay, and how to be a clean vehicle for that. So yeah, I think that you do have a good ability already, but you just have these personal confidence issues with it. And there's one thing that is just kind of blocked. It's just not flowing. Yeah, I think you could do well with that. But what I need to teach, I get an hour reading. We'll talk about it, because I can teach you a few things, especially the God theory, and that really just kind of opens people up, because they're like, oh, well, I see now. I see now how I can do this and why.
Cool. Okay. All right. Let's go over and check if there are any more Rumble rants to catch up on. Yes, there is. Beverly for $5. When will I be able to move into a new to me home? Is Beverly's question.
I am really in November. It's not that you don't have the means yet to do that, but you really look for one that you really, really want.
Yeah. That's also enough time for you to have one built if it happens soon.
Possibly.
Nina Marie, $20 Rumble rant. Hi, Jen. Do you see me in a new relationship with someone anytime soon? Marie. I think it's Nina Marie, or Nina or Marie. It would help if you gave us your real name.
I feel like you first hear from this person in August. I feel like there's a meetup in September. I do feel like there's good chemistry there. You're a little apprehensive, but yeah. I'm really seeing like tall, dark hair. Like, I think I'm seeing like a mustache beard combo, or it could just be like a mustache that comes down. Maybe it's just a goatee mustache combo, but Light skin, dark hair.
All right. Sean, SHAWN, $5 Rumble Rant. When will I be able to get into a med bed?
3 months.
2 months. Brad, 3 months. Sorry. Brad, $5 Rumble Rant. Jan, $5 Rumble Rant. Do you see me buying a house and moving before September?
Yes, I think I'm in June, July.
Cool. Let the truth be known, $20 Rumble Rant. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jen and Mike, for all you do. Once again, you're welcome. And it's just what we both sort of feel compelled to do, right? Miss Stacy, $10 Rumble Rant, says Stacy Lynn here. Thank you for the words from Michael last night. Apparently that's referring to last night's show. Question, will I spearhead my idea of a look better, feel better nonprofit soon?
That I'm in like the end of summer too. I'm over there in the end of summer when you get that going. You meet up with somebody like in June, July. And I see like notebooks and plans.
Yeah.
Planning.
Barbara says for $1 says, how do you see do you see a big change coming for me in my life? Where do you see me being in like what state? Barbara wants to know if she's going to have a big change in her life and what state she's going to be living in.
Yeah, you're going to do it. I know what you're talking about. Do you think you could cross the border into another state? I think it's north. Not sure. Sometimes I get things backwards. But I know what you're talking about.
North Dakota or North Carolina?
She knows what I'm talking about.
All right. Deb here. My husband Larry was just diagnosed with skin cancer. I'm sorry to hear that. Is going to oncologist tomorrow. He's a veteran. Do you see a med bed in the near future for him? Started him on Ivor and Fenben. That is a good news.
He'll be fine. I did think this is just they're going to remove this area. I don't know if he's got to do some kind of skin graft or something, because I don't see it as like one mole. I see it as like a patchy area. You're gonna get it taken care of. I can't tell you what to give him or what to take.
Yeah. I just had a little something and removed.
Do I see a med bed for him in the summer?
Okay, in the summer. Danae says, do you see my cousin Peter accepting treatment in a med bed to clear his late-stage cancer? Being a professor in the U.S., he's beyond brainwashed, sadly, and simply accepting his diagnosis.
He won't go.
Sadly, there are a lot of people who won't.
That's all I have for that. He won't go.
They just won't. And there's nothing you can do about that. And, you know, when Jen and I come out looking like we're 22 again, it's still not going to convince people. They're going to say it's AI. It's a fake picture. They're not going to.
That might convince some people, you know. But what they'll do is like, oh, okay, well, we'll be watching you, and you know, if you turn into a zombie in 6 months,
if you turn into a zombie, your face falls off like the Fly or something. Yeah. All right. Hi, Jen. This is Robin. Where, and when will I meet my next boyfriend? A lot of boyfriend-girlfriend questions today.
I already did that.
Oh, we did do that. Oh, that's right. We already did Robin. Sometimes they post twice, and I click on them twice. Silver and gold ratio. Already asked that one. Jen, this is Ken. Jen and Ken. When this happens, I'm moving to the country with my wife, Tina. I'm moving to the country. My wife, Tina, wants to stay here. Will she be coming to the new house or stay in the old house?
She'll come.
Temple Swift says, I feel blessed not to have been waiting 20 plus years like some, but I've been in it for over 3 years. It has been a long time. It's not an easy path, but you have chosen the right one to be on. I firmly believe. Okay, we don't pick on Wolverine in this chat.
You could have gone those 3 years and not been on this path.
Yeah.
And had no hope coming like this. You're going to spend 3 years anyway.
That's right. Well said. Gary 7 wants to know if the timeline is different in the spirit world compared to ours. When will notifications occur in the earthly timeline? I think Jen is already asking that, but for the record, yes.
Gary.
Come on, Gary.
Come on, man. If it were that easy, I would have already done it. Okay.
Yeah.
It's the decisions of man that change the timeline. Yes, it is different, like in heaven, and the reason for that is, and sometimes it's just like baffles me, but like the rate of there is time that exists everywhere. Otherwise, you would have no memory and no concept of before and after. So the rate on each dimension is of time in each dimension. It depends on the speed in which the energy travels through that dimension. So, and the vibration of that dimension, the higher the vibration, the slower the time. So it's when you are God, they told me a long time ago, I said, okay, when the vibration of this planet and this dimension rises, will time speed up? And they said, no, it will slow down. And I was like, what? And that's what led me to go find this out. And then I got the time theory from Uriel. So basically, time in heaven. So if 100 years to us, when you're planning a life over there, you're like, I'm going to go down for a couple months. Okay. And this is going to suck. All right. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard, but it's just a short time and I'll be right back. And don't worry about me. And we get down here, it's like 100 years.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, that was stupid. Why did I plan that? And so that's why some of, and mediums know this because they'll contact somebody who's passed away. And then it'll be like 10 years. And like, why haven't you reached out to me? Why haven't you talked to me? And it's been.
It's only been 15 minutes. Yeah.
I just left.
I just got here. Yeah. Because everything, and that's one of the ways that I always use to sort of identify if I think a medium is really connecting to the higher realms, because they talk a lot faster, because the information's coming a lot faster, and that shows me that they're connected to the higher frequency.
Well, and this is also one of the ways when somebody is thinking about passing. Let's say they're terminally ill, they're in bed, and they hospice, whatever. Loved ones will start older. Loved ones will start coming to the dreams. They'll start visiting them. And this is one way that they console them. Like, no, I can't leave. I'm not going to see them for so long. And they're like, no, not for you. It won't be very long at all for you.
Yeah.
So.
Lori wants to know when she might be quitting her job.
In May.
Okay. Nancy wants to know what navy blue indicates.
Deep sense of peace.
Good. With all the negotiations and paperwork signed by Vietnam, could they RV before Iraq? Yes, they could, but they won't.
I'm seeing a list posted. I'm not seeing one first. That Iraq go first. Iraq's been forced, and so that rate came up on that back screen. And then the other ones trigger, and they start showing up on the back screen with street rates. And now those street rates move, and they're waiting for a sweet spot to put that out. And it's where everything is balanced and where it's supposed to be.
Somebody was complaining in my chat yesterday. Oh, well, if that happens, you're only going to get the street rate. Like that was a bad thing. And I'm thinking, oh, you're only going to get $2 million for this piece of paper, this Vietnamese piece of paper. Oh, how horrible. Guys, if you only get the street rate, you should be eternally grateful for that, because
if you have like a Wise account.
Yeah. Be realistic. Just because we've been fed these dreams of,
First of
buying
all, that
football
doesn't
teams.
make any sense business-wise. Why would they go to all the trouble? And we know these exchange centers are real. Why would they go to all that trouble? Why? Because they're going to make a lot of money. And how they're going to make a lot of money? Because they're going to get a percentage of what you get. So what do they want you to get? A high rate. And so they've agreed on high rates, and then they turn around and sell it to the Treasury, and the Treasury sells it back to the country, and they make a bunch of money on it, and everybody's happy.
My point
Okay.
simply being that the street rates are going to be the most incredible blessing of your life. And if you get more than that, you're blessed beyond belief. But think about what an amazing blessing just the street rates would be. If Iraq revalues at 391, how much money are you going to have? Enough to change your life completely and forever. So just be grateful for that. Jen, my name is Evelyn Manassi, and I'm caretaker to a mom who has Alzheimer's for over 4 years. Any idea when she'll get into a med bed? June. Good for her. June and July. Ken wants to know, says Kim wants to know, she's been waking up super achy. Is it her autoimmune disease or the bed she's sleeping on?
It does have something to do with a dip in the mattress where you're sleeping and your shoes. There's something about one of your shoes and the arch support in it that you've been wearing that has thrown you off a little bit. Your body's overcompensating.
Nikki with a $5 Rumble Rent says, am I doing a good job at releasing control like my angels have been guiding me to do? That's Nikki. N-I-K-K-I.
Well, let me just ask. Yes, be patient with yourself. This kind of work takes time. There will be a back and forth to it.
Barbara wanted to ask on the North thing, when you said North, she says it's either North Arkansas or North Carolina. Which one do you get on that earlier question? North Arkansas or North Carolina for Barbara?
No, I felt like you traveled to the next state above you.
Okay.
Over the border going north.
Joni Pie, $10 Rumble Rant. Why have I been preoccupied thinking about sex? I don't know. Join the club.
I really don't want to look into that. Huh?
Yeah.
What's the name?
Joni. Joanie. Joni. Because you need some? I don't know.
No, there is a hormonal balance thing going on. Something you're eating is kick-starting that.
And Joni, may I recommend the SP6 LifeWave patches to balance your hormonal issues? That's what they're for. Supposed to be helping me with my appetite and stuff, Jen. So we'll see. I've only been taking it for less than a week, so we'll see. Beverly, again, $5 Rumble Rant. When will I be quitting my job? Beverly wants to know.
Did we do that?
I don't think so, because it's a brand new Rumble Rant. I think we did it for somebody else. We didn't do it for Beverly.
May.
Good for you. May or June. Maria wants to know what's going on with her heart and when she might get into a med bed.
I think you have the beginnings of congested heart failure. Don't freak out. People will live for like 30, 40 years with that. Yeah. You need to get in and get with a cardiologist or somebody, get on some kind of plan to monitor that. Yeah. Med beds coming up. You should, getting a diagnosis on that would help you get into the med bed faster. But I really do see that coming in June.
Okay, we have about 2 minutes left. Debbie would like to know about her daughter, Rochelle, if she'll be getting one of the 3 jobs she's applied for.
Yes, and I believe it's the 3rd.
The 3rd one. Okay. Lisa, I think we asked the question about your trip to Florida already. I'm pretty sure.
On.
Ursula would like to know when med beds will be available in Austria or Germany. Wow, what a German name. Austrian name, Ursula.
Same time.
Same time.
There's locations there. I see them.
What a great name. Okay, I think that is going to do it. Let me double check one more time for Rumble Rants. Oh, there's one more. Janet, $5 Rumble Rant. Last question. My name is Janet. When will my 3 grown children move out of my house? Jen, Cam, and Callie. This might give us a clue on the RV or not. Well, if that's the question, Jen, when the RV is going to happen, we already gave you that information. But when do you think?
In the summer.
Yeah, in the summer.
I mean, once you got everybody out, it's the summertime.
Yeah. All right, guys, that is going to wrap it up. I would like to say to everybody, thanks for being here. Appreciate each and every one of you. We love you very much. Thank you for all the Rumble Rants and the subscriptions. They make it much easier to do the show. Thank you so much for all that support. I'm going to be back this afternoon at 1 for the forecast with, Mel Carmine's not going to be on there. I'm not going to be on with Mel, but I'm going to be on with Laura Eisenhower and Elisa and some other dude named Frank. We're going to just kind of talk about issues.
Hey, Frank.
Then I don't really know Frank, but then I'm back Tuesday with Toxically Masculine Tuesday for the new show tomorrow. And then Jen and I will be back on Wednesday, and keep your eyes out for notifications over the next couple of days. That's what Jen's getting. Technical issues are being stepped aside. So I'll kick that back actually to my Intel contacts and say, well, what do you hear about the technical side of things? It is fascinating, Jen, that we got it, that these people had moved from these tier 3 folks were in Reno to get, exchanged. And then they were told to go to Zurich. And it's just exactly what you got in your Jentel without us. We didn't talk all weekend. We didn't talk to each other at all. So
no, I really haven't. I get a lot of stuff coming in, but I purposely didn't even look at anything this morning. So yeah, cool.
So stay optimistic. Keep your eyes out for notifications. Let's see what Crazy TNT Tony has to say. All of these people, Wolvie, Tony, Mark, everybody, even us, we all have pieces of the puzzle. You have to figure out where all the pieces fit. That's what we're trying to do. And even though I don't agree with Tony on very many things, I know he knows some people, and I know that they aren't all bullshitting. So it's worth paying attention to as much as he frustrates you. Okay. Tony will eventually wake up, when we're living in the golden age and it's all because of what Trump did, Tony will see the light. So don't get mad at him now because he's stuck in a certain place. Just go listen and pick through the information that he has that fits for you and that fits what you think's going on. Thanks for being here. Stay grounded and stay grateful. Those are 2 things you can do right now. I'll see you later on tonight on different shows. Oh, and I'm now on at 10 p.m. Pacific time, 1 in the morning Eastern time. Yeah, 10 to 1. Yeah, 1 in the morning Eastern time. Regular Monday 3-minute science reports on Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie. I'll see you on there tonight, or you'll hear me on there tonight. New gig that I'm starting for Coast to Coast. Thank you guys for being here.